Hello students, welcome back to Akshar online classes and IIT Foundation 9th class. I am your Mohan sir, chemistry faculty. So students, in the last class we discussed about the introduction of IIT and how it would be, what are the process, this all we discussed. And I think briefly we also discussed what are the topics we are going to cover in the 9th class, right? So today let us discuss for 5 minutes what are those topics, and then we'll see what are the basics required to continue our classes, right students? Okay. So if you see students here on the screen, these are the topics we are going to discuss in the 9th class, right? So what are the topics? Once read. Dilute solutions and colligative properties. This will be our first chapter. Next, thermodynamics. That's the second chapter. Third one, chemical kinetics. Fourth one, chemical equilibrium. Fifth one, ionic equilibrium. And the next remaining three comes under general organic chemistry. Alright. So these are the topics we are going to discuss. Right. Now I will give the brief introduction about this topic. Then we'll start the next things. Okay, once you want to see, once again you see. So these are the topics: dilute solutions, thermodynamics, chemical kinetics, chemical equilibrium, ionic equilibrium, and general organic chemistry. Even isomerism also comes under the organic chemistry only. Right. Now let us see here. See students, already I said that I am your chemistry faculty and I am going to teach you a chemistry. Chemistry, right? Otherwise, we do one thing, we'll take another slide. Okay, students. So, I am going to discuss about the chemistry. Already know what is the chemistry. Chemistry is a branch of science and it deals with the changes that matter undergoes, right? So you will be studying in the chemistry mostly what is matter and how it undergoes. This already learnt, you are in the 9th class, and I think in the first chapter you might have studied about the term matter in our surroundings, right? What is a matter? Matter means anything that has a mass and occupy the space. You know that, right? Is this pen comes under matter? Yes, this pen comes under the matter. If you see around you, once just see around you, what you can find around you? Tell 5 names. You can find the bulbs, electric bulbs or electric lamps, and you can find the AC, or you can find what you can find? Tables, benches. More what you can find around you? Books, pens. Yes. So does all these things what you see, they comes under the matter? Yes, they all comes under the matter, because anything that has a mass and occupy the space is called matter, right? So here this comes under matter. Why? Because see, it's occupying some space. If I place this on my hand, so see, this is occupying this much space, right? And it has some mass, so it's a matter, right? Now for example, if you want to take what you can take, okay, fan is there, you think, is that comes under matter? Yes, the fan is also a matter, because fan has a mass and it's occupying some space, alright, that's also matter. Now books and pens, yes, they also comes under matter. So whatever you see around you, all those things comes under the matter, right? And now the question is that whether you and me comes under the matter. Of course, we are also comes under the matter because we are also having some mass and we are also occupying the space. So we are also comes under the matter. Is this clear? And you see, students, here now whatever the things we see around us, so how this made up of, how these are made up of. Okay, right? For example, you see this, I have a pen. How this pen is made up of? Okay, is this made up of directly like this is a pen? So I can sorry. So I can see this. So I can see this pen. So can this pen is made up of directly with the one unit? No, students, it's not a single unit. Okay, so here if I apply the force, it is breakable. So I can break it into two pieces if I apply the force, so that I'll get the two pieces. Again, if I take that one piece from that, again I apply the force, can I break it into two? Yes, of course, I can break it into the two pieces. Like this, if I break and break, then finally what happens? There is a final stage will come where we cannot break. Those are called as atoms. I think you might have studied up then. But of course, later it was found that atoms are divisible, that we discuss in the later. So these all are the matter, right? So this, what you can see, this pen is there. This pen is made up of like plastic. So plastic is nothing but a polymer. I think in the 8th class you might have studied, like, polymers, synthetic fibers and plastics. Okay, so that's made up of polymer. Poly means what? Many. Mers means what? Units. So many number of units are joined together to form the polymer. So it's made up of a polymer, right? Any matter you take that are made up of some made up of atoms, right? Okay, so any matter is made up of the atoms, whatever it may be. Okay, and this total number of atoms, see, for example, you see, I said you this about the pen. This is made up of atom. You take the pencil, that's also made up of atoms. Any matter is made up of a tiny particles called as atoms, right? And these atoms, generally they are available in the form of elements. We can say those as elements also. And you have the topics like elements and compounds. Of course, I think you might have studied the second chapter is matter around a sphere. In that there's a topic called elements and compounds, right? So elements are there. So total how many elements are there? Total 118 elements are there. How many elements? 118 elements are there. But how many substances are there in the universe? Millions of substances are there. Okay. How many compounds are there? Millions of compounds are there. How these millions of compounds are made up of? How these millions are compounds? But we are having only 118 elements or atoms, right? So here, for example, if you see in the English, how many alphabets are there? How many alphabets? 26 alphabets, right? And how many words are there in English? Millions of words are there. Yes. So here number of alphabets are only 26, but number of words are millions, right? Similarly, the total number of elements as of now, the number of known elements are only 118 elements are there. 118 elements are there, but the compounds are millions of compounds, millions of compounds. How these compounds are forming? What are their physical and chemical properties? How they are useful to us? Okay, so all these things we learn in the chemistry. All these things we learn in the chemistry. Okay, students. So in the chemistry, mainly chemistry is classified. Initially, it was classified into two types, but now I'll write three types. Okay, so chemistry is mainly divided into three types. Okay, so as of we are in IIT Foundation, so I'll say that there are three types of chemistries we are going to learn, right? So one chemistry is called inorganic chemistry. What is the first one? Inorganic chemistry. Okay, so this is the first one called inorganic chemistry. What is the second one? Second one is physical chemistry. Physical chemistry. And the third one is called organic chemistry. So, students, we are going to study about the three types of means chemistry. This total is chemistry only, but chemistry for us for our convenient it is divided into three parts. Okay. So, one is called inorganic chemistry, second one is called physical chemistry, and third one is called organic chemistry. Right. So, what are these three actually? Inorganic and organic or physical chemistry. What you actually, okay, what are these? Right. So, here what are these is, okay, in the briefly I will explain you. Initially, there were only two types of chemistries were there. One is called as organic chemistry and second one is called inorganic. Again, inorganic we are classified into one more branch that, okay, for our convenience, that is called physical chemistry. So, okay. So, chemistry, just now I told you that chemistry is the branch which deals with the elements, compounds, and what are the changes that undergoes. This is all. For example, you see if you take an iron, you take the iron, right. So, iron you take the freshly when you purchase one iron nail from the shop, when you purchase the iron nail from the shop, then what you can see, it is like silvery white. How it looks like silvery, okay, how it's like silver, it looks like silver, right. Now, if place the silver outside for a few days, okay, normally, and then you can see that a rust is found on it. What is found on it? Rust. Do you know what is the rust? Yes or no? Yes. So, you can see that some windows, some gates, metal gates, iron gates which are there, you can see there. So, you can see the rust is found on it, red color substance is formed, that is called rust. So, what is happening here, we are throwing the iron outside. So, this iron, okay, is reacting with the oxygen in presence of moisture, and it forming the rust, right. So, this is one type of chemical reaction, right. So, here iron is reacting with the oxygen in presence of moisture and forming the iron oxide. It is called ferric oxide also. So, the rust is forming. Clear to you? So, the here iron is undergoing such a change. So, these changes that matter undergoes we study in the chemistry. Okay. Now, here in the inorganic, physical and organic chemistry what we study. Okay. So, now in the inorganic chemistry we study about the normal elements and the compounds. Okay, we study like atomic structure. You might have also I'll discuss one by one. So, first I will take the inorganic chemistry. Inorganic chemistry. What are the topics we are going to deal under inorganic chemistry? Under inorganic chemistry, we are going to deal with the topics called structure of atom, which is called atomic structure. Right, and we can also discuss in this topic periodic classification of elements or periodic table. I read simply. Do you know about the periodic table? The table in which all the elements are arranged according to their increasing order of their atomic numbers and according to their properties. Okay, so periodic table we discussed that one, and then we can see the chemical bonds, chemical bonding. Okay, and this periodic table consists of it consists of periods and groups. So, like groups are called vertical columns or groups, and there are almost how many 18 groups are there, 18 groups. Okay, and 7 periods are there, 7 periods called as the horizontal rows are called as the periods, 7 periods. So, these 7 periods. Okay. Generally, the elements means groups means what, that vertical columns, like these vertical columns. Okay, these vertical columns are as groups. Okay. So, for example, if you take the first group, students, first group. Okay, we'll discuss detail. Don't worry. Here, sir is going beyond of our knowledge. No. It's completely we'll discuss everything. Yes, I'm giving a small introduction about this one. Okay. So, in the groups, if you take the first group, okay, if you see the periodic table in the first group, what we can find the elements are like hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Like these are the elements you can find in the first group. Here except the hydrogen, remaining all elements are called as alkali metals. What they are called? Alkali metals. This I will discuss, don't worry. So just I am telling you, okay. So that's called alkali metals. So these alkali metals, all lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium are called as alkali metals, and all alkali metals will have similar type of properties. Okay, all will have, all are metals only, and almost most of the properties are same for all these metals. So here all these metals properties we study under one heading called as a alkali metals, right? And then if you go to the second group, we'll have like beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. Like this we have the second group. Okay, again 6 elements are there, like beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium, and these elements are called alkaline earth metals. Alkaline earth metals. Okay, so we can call this and almost most of the properties of all these elements are same, right? So here like this 18 groups are there, we are going to study about all these elements. What are those elements, how do they available in the nature, like this their availability, and what are their physical properties, what are their chemical properties, how do they obtain, and all these things, what are the compounds they form, all these things we are going to learn under the part of inorganic chemistry. Yes students, so we are going to learn all these under inorganic chemistry part, right? So inorganic chemistry consists of mainly what? Structure of atom, how the atom structure will be there. This in the 9th class you can see the 4th chapter, I think some chapter is there, structure of atom, same topic will be there, structure of atom. Okay, so the same thing here we learn here, and the next we study about the periodic table. So how the elements are arranged, this all you can learn in the 10th class actually, but here we are going to learn here only. So periodic table, so total as I told you that 118 elements are there, how these elements are arranged, and these all things we are going to study. Okay, periodic table. And chemical bonds, chemical bond means what? How these elements will combine with each other. Okay, so there are some types of bonds are there called ionic bond, covalent bond, metallic bond. Again covalent bond is of 2 types. Okay, these are all okay we are going to study, and about all these elements physical and chemical properties we are going to study under the inorganic chemistry. Okay, so that is about inorganic chemistry. So total 3 chemistries I told you. First one is on inorganic, second one is called physical, third one is called organic, right? So in the inorganic chemistry we are going to study about these things. Clear? Okay, so don't worry, here everything is fine. So now then come to the next one is physical chemistry. Physical chemistry. In the physical chemistry, so here students actually in the IIT Foundation, mainly we cover okay about the inorganic chemistry in 8th class. In 8th class only we cover this one. So most of the topics like inorganic chemistry related topics will be covered in 8th class only. Okay, but you are in 9th class. Okay, so in the 9th class generally we are going to study about the physical chemistry. In the 9th class mainly we are going to cover about the physical chemistry as well as organic chemistry. Organic chemistry, okay, 2 types of that we will discuss. So organic chemistry we are going to physical and organic chemistry we are going to deal in the 9th and the 10th standard. And what about the inorganic chemistry? Actually we deal in the 8th class itself. But don't worry, now we are joining in the 9th class. Yes, need not to worry, because we are going to have all those discussions. See, this to study about the physical chemistry, you need to know about the inorganic chemistry first. Okay, we should know about the organic chemistry. Means you should have a organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry basic knowledge to understand this physical chemistry, right? So wherever we require that basic knowledge, that all we cover, okay, first we take that particular what are the topics required to you to understand this physical chemistry from the inorganic chemistry, that we cover before every chapter. Okay, we cover that part what you are already completed actually according to the syllabus, what we teach in the 8th class chemistry, that all okay, we take here, and before starting the particular topic related to that, what are the basics you are already have in the 8th class, those will explain you. Okay, so need not to worry, we are created a very perfect bridge course for you. So bridge course, instead of taking the total bridge course at a time, then related to that we divided the bridge course into some parts, and each part which part is useful that particular lesson, that before that particular lesson, that bridge course, like bridge course. So we give the basic knowledge about this one. Okay, so nothing to worry, every topic will be explained to you, and in a proper way, so in an understandable way. Only you need little concentration, okay, to understand it, right? That's all. Now in the physical chemistry, the physical chemistry, what you are going to study? So physical chemistry, you are going to study about all these things what I showed in the slide. This slide. This is our 9th class syllabus. Actually in the IIT Foundation 9th class syllabus is this. So here we are going to study about the dilute solutions. Okay, so here solutions we are going to study, and thermodynamics, chemical kinetics, chemical equilibrium, ionic equilibrium, and general organic chemistry, isomerism. This we are going to study in this one. Okay, in the 9th class. So these all these topics which are there here, these comes under the physical chemistry, right? These are comes under what? Physical chemistry. Okay, so these are the physical chemistry. Now last and final one. Last and final one is what? Okay, last and final one is organic chemistry. Okay, last and final one is organic chemistry, right? So in the organic chemistry, what you are going to study? Students, actually organic chemistry is also part of chemistry only. Is also part of chemistry only. Okay. So here there is one like why the name of this organic chemistry is given. You know what is meant by the organisms? Okay. What is meant organic or organisms? The meaning is what? So in the organic chemistry, what are you going to study? Is here initially, there are so many compounds out there in the nature, right? For example, if you want like salt. For example, you want a salt. How can you get the salt? In the lower classes, you might have studied that by evaporating the ocean, okay, sea water, then we can get the salt. Means we are getting in the nature, right? So how can you prepare like want to like calcium carbonate? So calcium carbonate we can prepare easily in the lab. Okay, when calcium oxide is we make to react with the carbon dioxide, then we get the calcium carbonate. Like there's so many chemicals out there which we can prepare in the laboratory. Okay, so those things which we can prepare in the laboratory, like which are taken from the nature itself, like from the minerals and this one. For example, you want to if you want to so many things we can prepare in the laboratory. Okay, and to prepare the laboratory we require some raw materials, and those raw materials also we get in the nature only, okay, like under the earth, in the water, or in the air, so whatever, okay, we can get this one. But there are some substances so there, like oil we want, okay, milk we want, oil, milk, sugar, okay. Can these substances can we prepare in the laboratory? Okay, maybe some now maybe we are preparing now in the laboratories, but you just imagine 200 years back, just 200. Now we are in the 20th, means 2020. Okay, just imagine 1800, means 200 years back. Okay, if just you go to the 200 years back, so the science has not developed this much. There is no technology. Okay, so can all these things prepared by the human being artificially? Means No. How will you get the oil? For example, you want coconut oil. How you can get the coconut oil? Coconut oil can you prepare artificially by using, you know, the things available in the nature, like in the soil, okay, like on the minerals or water. Can you prepare? Mostly how we prepare the coconut oil? From the plants. Yes or no? From the plants we can prepare, means from the coconut tree we take the coconuts, and from coconut is grinding, something is done, and we can get the oil, right. If you want a sugar, if you want to prepare this sugar, how do you prepare the sugar? Okay, general normal process. How do you prepare the sugar? We take the sugar canes, okay, that is also a type of a plant, like, you know. So crops, so sugar cane crop, we take the sugar cane and we take the juice, we extract the juice, and juice is subjected to some processes so that we can get the sugar, right. So here, so many things, like, you know, sugar, like oils, these are the things we cannot, means imagine that you are just 200 years back, you imagine that you are 200 years back, not now, you are okay, in the 18th century. At that time, this science and technology was not there, right. So there was no, might be planes, there was no, might be TVs, okay, and screens, laptops. This nothing was there, okay. So nothing was there at the time. Imagine in the time, okay, at that time, how these might be prepared, right. So most of the things what we prepare, what we get from the plants and animals, okay, like so I said, you know, like oils, okay, sugar, and these things we can get from the pulses. This all we can get from the plants, right? No, plants and animals. Okay. So here there was a scientist called Berzelius. Who was the scientist? Berzelius. So Berzelius was a scientist. What he told is, some things we cannot prepare artificially. Means what? So some things are there in the nature which we cannot prepare artificially. Okay. To prepare them, a vital force is required. What is required? A vital force is required. Means what? According to him, some substances we can prepare artificially from the things what are available around us, but some things we cannot prepare. Those substances can be prepared only by living organisms. Okay, those substances we can get only from the living organisms. Okay, so living organisms, from living organisms only we can get those substances. Clear to you? Okay. So just now I told you, know, like oil, any oil, coconut oil or okay, groundnut oil or whatever the oil may be. So we can take the groundnut. Groundnut is nothing but it's like a plant. So there's a living organisms. So he said that some substances in the nature cannot be. What are the substances? Okay, available in the nature? From that, few substances we cannot we cannot prepare in the artificially, means in the laboratories or in the factories, okay, or in our houses. We cannot prepare them. We can extract them from the animals and plants. Okay. So to prepare some things we need a plants and animals. A vital force is required. So the things which you are getting from the plants and animals, like milk, okay, so these things we cannot prepare artificially, he said. Who? Berzelius. Berzelius was a scientist. He told that, okay, some substances, to prepare some substance we require a vital force, that vital force which is present in the living organisms. So only those living organisms only can prepare. Okay. So then based on this he classified the substance into two types. He classified the substance into two types. One are called organic. Just now I told you, organic means what? The materials which we can get from the living organisms, like plants and animals. And inorganic. Inorganic means what? The substances which we can prepare artificially in the laboratories or factories or in our houses. So where we can prepare artificially, so these are called as the inorganic substances. And the substances what we take from only animals and plants, and those substances are called organic because they are taken from the living organisms, organisms. So that's what he told that he classified the chemistry into two types, like organic and inorganic. Is this clear to you now? Okay. So organic means what? Which we can get from the plants and animals. About the materials what we study, the chemistry which we can get from the plants and animals, means living organisms, those are called as that comes under the organic chemistry. And the substances, what we study about the substances which we make artificially, or we make in the laboratories, or we make in the houses, we make in the factories, those are called inorganic substances. Very clear. All right. So, that was the Berzelius concept. So, based on this concept, he classified the chemistry into two parts called organic and inorganic chemistry, right. But what happened in 1826, which year? 1826 means what? Just 196 years back. Okay. There was another scientist called as a Wöhler. Okay. His name was Wöhler. Okay. So, Wöhler, sorry. Okay. Wöhler was a scientist. What he has done, he prepared a substance called urea. He prepared a substance called urea from the inorganic substance, means the material which is available in the nature, not from the plants or animals, which are available from the nature, from inorganic material called ammonium cyanate. Okay. So, ammonium cyanate. From this ammonium cyanate, he prepared the substance called urea. He prepared the substance called urea. In which year? 1826. Which year? In 1826, means 200 years back, 26 or 28. So, he prepared like a substance called urea. Okay. And what is this urea? Urea is a organic substance. Which substance this is? A organic substance. That is what? Organic substance which is present in the urine of the animals. Okay. Urea is a substance which is present in the urine of animals. So, this urea he prepared from the ammonium cyanate. This ammonium cyanate is inorganic chemistry. Sorry, inorganic compound. What it is? Inorganic compound. So, he prepared the organic compound from the inorganic compound, right. But before that, Berzelius, what he said? Berzelius, what he said? It is not possible to prepare the organic substances artificially. Means what? We cannot prepare the organic substances artificially in the laboratories. But here Wöhler proved that organic substance can be prepared artificially, means in the laboratory. He said that. He proved that. Who? Wöhler. Wöhler was the first scientist to prepare the organic material from the inorganic substance. Clear to you? Okay. So, Wöhler prepared the first time like that, and after some other scientists tried to prepare that one and they were succeeded. Now, as on today, more than 10 millions of compounds, more than 10 millions of organic compounds are prepared artificially, means what? In the laboratories. Is this clear to you? So, now 10 millions of compounds, more than 10 millions compounds are there, which comes under the organic substances. Which comes under what? Organic substances, but they are prepared artificially. Okay. So, at that time, at the Berzelius time, he classified the substances into two types called organic and inorganic. But now, organic substances also can be prepared artificially. Okay. Now, the question might be rises then, sir, if you are preparing the compounds, organic compounds artificially, then why still we are calling it as an organic chemistry? Yes. So, actually, now we are calling it as an organic chemistry. It's a basic name, base name of that is organic chemistry, but its a new name is given to organic chemistry as a chemistry of carbon compounds. What is given? Chemistry of carbon compounds. So, here we study under the organic chemistry only about the organic compounds, but now the new name for this one is chemistry of carbon compounds, right. Why it is called chemistry of carbon compounds? I will explain the detail in the coming classes. Okay. Chalo. Students, so here this is the first week is done. So these all are just introductory classes. Okay. So just basic classes to give an idea about the IIT and what is the subjects, what are the subjects are present, what are the topics present in IIT, what we are going to teach. So this one, but Monday onwards we are going to start our actual IIT program. So and here said no, there are some topics are there, those topics we are going to start, and these topics are interlinked with each other, So today if you understand the first topic, then you can understand the second topic. If you can understand the first and second, then you can understand the third topic, and so on. If you miss anywhere in the middle 1 or 2 classes, then the link will break, so you cannot understand. Like for example, a bridge is there, so the bridge, so you are moving like this. For example, if the bridge is broken somewhere in the middle, okay, this is the bridge, something bridge is broken here, this is broken, then it will be difficult to move here, right? It will be difficult. You can move, it's not like that you cannot move, but it will be some difficult, right? So try to be regular to the our classes, IIT Foundation classes, very regular, and what we tell today, that on that particular day only you have to read and try to understand it. Clear to you? So and some exercises will be given to you, and those exercises you have to prepare, those exercises you have to learn on that particular day, you have to complete, right? So that's all, students, for today. And Monday, remember that from Monday onwards I am going to take the chemistry actual IIT Foundation course. We are going to start from Monday onwards, and first we start the basics. For the first topic, our 9th class topic is solutions. So for solution, basic topic we cover, and next what are the next topic will come, for that basics we will cover. So like step by step we cover all the parts, all the portions, so all the topics what you have to learn in the 8th class. That all topics will be covered even in the 9th class, so don't worry. Okay. So right, friends, any doubt? If you have any doubt, you can ask. If you have a mic there, or you can post, and we are here to explain